pop it to the back.
Alright, good morning. Welcome to the video. Today is Sunday, February 28th. Today I'm going to be doing an upper body workout. So I'm following a program made by Jeff Nippard, and it's a power building program. So essentially what we want to do is build strength and focus on hypertrophy at the same time. I ran the same program back in November, December, and my strength flew. So I'm running it again. I figured I'd pick up the camera and show you guys the upper body workout that we have in store today. Yeah, so I'll basically just show you from a personal trainer standpoint why or what I do through each set or workout and how to make it effective, how to do it correctly, things like that. So if you're watching this, thank you, stick around, and hopefully you enjoy. Alright, so first up we have a flat back barbell bench press, 3 warm-up sets, 3 sets of 10, RPE is 7, meaning that I have 3 reps left in the tank within my working sets. So flat back meaning normally you'll have a slight arch in your lower back on a bench press. This will make it a little bit more difficult. So let's run through 3 warm-up sets and we'll get into the working sets. So based on how that set went, let me check this down. So based on that second warm-up set, I got a feel for the weight, so I'm going to use that weight to hit my working set. So here I'll do 3 sets of 10, RPE is 7, so that means 3 left in the tank, and we'll work with this. So it's important, and I catch my breath. So it's important on the bench press that you want to have, when you're at the bottom, you want to have your forearms perpendicular to the floor. So when you're at the bottom, you don't want your forearms out here, you don't want your forearms inside here. So you want to do is keep the bar just about lower chest height and have your forearms perpendicular to the floor when you're all set up and good to go. So that's something to keep in mind when you're doing this. Obviously, warm up your shoulders as much as you need to. Having a fixed position like a barbell can be prone to injuries later down the road, so make sure you're warmed up. Alright, so next up we have eccentric, so the negative portion of the movement, accentuated pull up. So basically we're going to do as many reps as possible, 1 warm-up set. What I'm going to do is come all the way up and let myself come down as slow as I can for as many reps as possible. Only 2 sets of this, RPE 10, so I'll be taking this to failure. So This should be fun. So every rep, I'm trying to get at least eye height above that bar, just to count it as a rep. Those are tough. Those are definitely hard. So we'll do 2 sets of that, and we'll move on. Those are tough. I highly recommend those because they're brutal. I'm gonna put a shirt back on. Alright, so next up we have a weighted dip. So we just put together a dip machine. We don't have one here unfortunately, so what we did, we went to the squat rack, pinned the racks here, 2 barbells. So essentially when I'm going down, I'm technically pushing out. So I'll be pushing outward on there, outward on there. And this is 2 warm-up sets with 2 sets of 10. Yeah, so RPE 10, so I'm taking this to failure. So I'll probably work up to a 45 between my legs and take that to, the working set. So let's do it. Alright, so with a dip, especially a weighted dip, you want to make sure, one, that the weight isn't flying back and forth, because that way you could lose balance if you mess up, if it goes too quick. Also, you want to keep your elbows from flaring out. Feel your elbows out, try to keep them tucked in, and push down and out. So lower chest movement and tricep movement. Triceps are heavily involved here, and the chest of course as well. So we're going to do, I think it was 2 sets of 10, so let's get to it. Alright, next workout, I'm going to dismantle this thing. Good to go. Alright, so next up, single arm dumbbell row, one warm-up set, 2 sets of 10 to 12, RPE of 9. So leaving one left in the tank, 10 to 12 reps. So I'll do one warm-up set with maybe a 60-pound dumbbell, and then work up to a 70, 75. So with this, it's really important to keep your spine and everything in line with the bench. So I like to just hook my leg right here, and almost like a 3-point stance. So I'll stay here, chest up nice and tall, and my back is nice and straight. Here, nice and straight. Coming down, so I'll show you here. When you come down, I like to come down, overextend my shoulder a little bit. It's kind of the only time where I'll let that happen rather than stay retracted. I'll come down, really stretch on the lats there, and pull up, back, and drive my elbow up beyond my torso. So it's following the muscle fibers of the lats, coming down, big stretch, up and back. And you don't want to turn too much. You don't want to throw your shoulder up. You want to control the weight up and down each rep. So one warm-up set, 2 sets of 10 to 12. Let's do it. One more set, 2 more sets. All right. Next up, we got barbell or easy bar curl. One warm up, 3 sets of 12 to 15, RPE of 9. So I'll probably work with 3 sets of 12. Maybe grab the 60, the flat barbell, and just run through that. So we got like 2 or 3 exercises left, and then we're good. All right. So with a barbell curl, I'll use lightweight for now. What I like to do is keep my hands and my forearms parallel to one another. So basically, I don't want to be out here, and I don't want to be in here. The There's a time and place for it, of course. But for this, keep my arms parallel here. And when I curl, what you don't want to do is pull back and break perpendicular to the floor. So if you need to, on the last few reps, I'll let it slide. If you come up, give it a little momentum, and you stay perpendicular to the floor. What I wouldn't want to see is someone pull back like that. It's too much stress on the lower back, and that can cause injuries. The weight may be too heavy, the reps may be too many. But if you're coming up and staying perpendicular to the floor, just like that on those last few, I don't mind. So we're gonna work up 3 sets of 12 with that 60, and yeah, let's get to it. Also, it's all right to give it a little lean forward too. So if you're leaning forward here, you can arc and want to focus on driving with your wrists. So my wrists will arc up to my shoulder and back down. So you don't want to be over here. You don't want to be, like I said, throwing yourself back. A little lean forward, up and down. Just focusing on the bicep. So we'll jump right into it right now. We'll do sets of 12. I think I said 10, but we're going to try 12. Let's see how it goes. So here's, I'll lean forward and give myself some momentum, these last two. Come down, nice and slow. Obviously, controlling the weight is extremely important. So on the eccentric part of it, when you're coming down, or any negative portion of the movement, if you slow that down a bit, it's known to increase muscle damage, which is exactly what we're here to do. And then afterwards, when you rest, your nutrition, everything's in line. That's how we build. So 2 more sets of that.
For this life I cannot change. It is, keep off in the main. M&M's, sweet like candy cane. Drop the top, pop it, let it bang. For this life I cannot change. Hidden hills, keep off in the main. M&M's, sweet like candy cane. Drop the top, pop it, let it bang. Drop the top, they hide and see. Jump inside, jump straight to the lake. Take a sip, feel just how I be. On freeway, but no ain't nothing free. Been lost, been lanes, been busting bills, but still ain't nothing changed. You in the mob, soon as you out the chain. She caught the waves, just coming through my braids.
Alright, so next up, what do we get? Lean away lateral raise, 2 sets of 30. So this one's just about pumping up the side shoulder. Lateral raise, or lean away lateral raise, would be arms length away. Coming down here, constant tension on your side delt. Coming up, squeeze, perpendicular to, parallel to the floor. Coming down. A lot of people will rest here. You don't want to rest here. You want to keep that constant tension on the side delt. Coming up, leading with your elbow, not your wrist. So what I don't want to see would be someone to pull up like that. You can put too much forward stress on the shoulder, and that can cause shoulder impingement, tons of issues down the road. So 2 sets of 30. I'm going to use maybe the 15s. Normally I'll use like the 30s or so. I'm going to make 10 15s, 30 reps each arm, 2 sets. So let's dive into it right now. Jesus, this is
M&M's, sweet like candy cane. Drop the top, pop it, let it bang. For this life I cannot change. Hidden hills, keep off in the main. M&M's, sweet like candy cane. Drop the top. Oh please, oh me, oh mine. We've been moving for some time. Alright, flexing, try to exercise. For this life I cannot change. in the hills, deep off in the main. In the hills.
21, 22, now it's starting to burn. 23, 24, 25, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right into the right arm. It's also tough to hold yourself up there for 30 reps like that. Works the forearms, even though we were just doing some forearm work, so it's a good one. I'm gonna lean away, arms length, constant tension. So I don't want to rest here. Keep this here. Up, leading with my elbow, arcing the dumbbell up, parallel to the floor, squeezing at the top. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it, done. So one thing I thought of when I was doing that, what you also try to want to avoid is when you come up, you don't want to throw your torso up into the weight. You want to hinge right at your shoulder joint, keeping your arms stable with your left hand or right hand. Up, squeeze. So now we're working that side delt right there. So one more set of that, and we'll move on. I think we got one more workout, so catch you out there. So the reason why the lean away is so helpful, so if I was doing a regular lateral raise, I came parallel to the floor, just as normal. But now, if I lean away, I can go way higher here, and have more of a peak contraction. So if I'm leaned away, parallel to the floor here, I'm now here if I was standing upright. So you wouldn't go that high if you're standing upright, because now the weight is distributed differently onto your body. But by leaning away, keeping your muscle parallel to the floor, that peak contraction is a little higher based on the range of motion. So it increases your range of motion, which is what we want in the bodybuilding world and in fitness space. Range of motion, tension, time under tension, just to build that muscle, cause that breakdown, refuel with proper nutrition, which I can go into worlds of. And yeah, that's the way we try to do it. Alright, so last movement, or last exercise I should say, is a bicycle crunch, but I think I'm just going to run through a core exercise, core circuit I should say. Normally I'll do hanging knee raises, target the lower abs. I'll do rope crunch or a crunch variation, target the upper where the peak tension is. And I'll do some oblique work, maybe some medicine ball twists or cable twist, tree choppers people call them. So I'll do like 2 to 3 working sets of that, call it a day here. And yeah, if I don't close it out at my house with my post-workout or lunchtime meal, I'll see you guys in the next one. And I appreciate you looking on, like I said in the beginning. This is just a start, so hopefully you can subscribe and don't miss it. Hopefully I can provide as much value as I can. And yeah, we'll call it at that.
Top it to the